The meeting will come to order. This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Revere License Commission. Before we take up the agenda, we'd like to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Lieutenant Randall.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The following matters will come before the Revere License Commission today at our regularly scheduled meeting. The first order of business will be the approval of minutes of April 17th, 2019. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of that meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second, I'll second.
Those minutes are approved. The next items on the agenda are applications submitted for consideration. Item number 1, Royal Food Enterprises, Inc., DBA Sabrine Bakery and Cafe, 91 Centennial Avenue, Youssef Hassin, manager. This is an application for a temporary change of hours. The application of Royal Food Enterprises, Inc., DBA Sabrine Bakery and Cafe, for a temporary extension of hours to accommodate the needs of patrons during the period of Ramadan. The requested extension is to close at 2 a.m. The current closing is 10 p.m. The requested period of this extension will be from now through June 5th. Your name and address for the record, please, sir. Thank you very much. And can you explain a little bit about what you're planning to do? Are you going to be changing anything with the increased hours?
So the change of hours is in consideration of our customers. We are in an area with a lot of people from Morocco, Algeria, who fast during daytime, and they eat nighttime. So it's day is night and night is day. So in order to attract more customers, to make some business from this new business, it's 6 months old, we're asking you if you can open till 2 a.m. so we can provide, because at 8 p.m. we provide the breakfast. It's upside down, you know. and dinner is at 2 a.m., 1:30, 2 a.m.
Very good. Thank you very much, sir. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I have no questions. Have you done this in the past? I know we've had applications in the past. Are you one of them?
No, our business is 6 months old. It's a new business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I have no problem with it during the holiday.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No questions.
Yeah, I have no questions.
Thank you very much, sir.
Any proponents?
Let me just ask for any proponents. Is there any proponents out here? Anybody want to speak on behalf of this application? Hearing and seeing none, I'll close that part of the meeting. Are there any opponents? Anybody opposed to this? I don't hear or see anyone. We'll close that section. Is there a motion to act on?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
The motion is approved. The application for a temporary change of hours for Royal Food Enterprises, Inc., DBA Sabrine Bakery and Cafe, for a temporary extension of hours to accommodate the needs of patrons during the period of Ramadan. The requested extension is to close at 2 a.m. The current closing time is 10 p.m. The requested period for this extension is now through June 5th, 2019. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Item number 2, St. Mary's Holy Name Society, 670 Washington Avenue. Stephen Fielding is the event manager. This is an application for a special malt wine, common victular, and entertainment license. The application of the St. Mary's Holy Name Society for a special one-day license to be exercised at 670 Washington Avenue on Saturday, June 8th, from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. The event will be a Flag Day dinner dance with DJ, music, and dinner. Name and address for the record, please, sir.
My name is Stephen Fielding. I reside at 153 Gore Road in Revere, and I'm representing St. Mary's Holy Name Society of St. Mary's Church.
Thank you very much, sir. Can you just explain briefly what your plan is here?
Exactly as you outlined, it is a Flag Day dinner dance. We have an outside caterer that brings in food. We do serve beer and wine and soda and water, and we have a DJ and music and dancing.
Thank you very much. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I have no questions. It's always a great event when Mr. Felding runs the times at St. Mary's, so I have no questions.
I got no questions.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of this application? Hearing and seeing none, I'll close that section. Are there any opponents? Anybody opposed to this? I don't see or hear anybody. I'll close that section. Is there a motion to act on?
Motion to approve the application for special malt wine common victual license and entertainment license.
I'll second that. That motion is approved. The application for a special malt wine common victular and entertainment license for the St. Mary's Holy Name Society for a special one-day event to be exercised at 670 Washington Avenue on Saturday, June 8th, 2019, from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. The event will be the Flag Day Dinner Dance with a DJ, music, and dinner. Thank you very much, Mr. Fielding.
Thank you very much.
Item number 3, City of Revere, Revere's Farmers Market, 249 Broadway. Dimple Rana, manager. This is an application for temporary common victular and entertainment licenses. Application of the Revere Farmers Market for a temporary license for common victular and entertainment. Said licenses to be exercised at 249 Broadway on Fridays through July through October from 12 p.m. till 8 p.m. Name and address, please.
Hello, I'm Dimple Rana. I'm the Director of Healthy Community Initiatives for the City of Revere, and I reside here in Revere at 49 South Ave.
Thank you very much. Can you explain just a little bit about what your plan is for the farmers market this year?
Yes, this will be the 5th year of the Farmers Market here next door to City Hall at the American Legion lawn. We're going to have what we've always had over the past 4 years, and we'll have a couple of farms and some other food vendors, including a food cart and a food truck, and then some regular activities, either fitness programming or some other recreational type of activities for families.
Thank you very much. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
No, again, this is another great thing for the city that's gone very well for the last 5 years, as you said. When you come to entertainment, is it just a DJ? Is that what you're having for entertainment?
For entertainment, depending on the Friday, we either have a live band or performer or music that is run by our youth staff who run the farmers market through a speaker.
Okay, thank you. It's a good event.
Thank you.
Are the events, you have it down here, just on Fridays?
Yes,
Just on Fridays, and from July to October?
correct.
Okay. I have no more questions.
Thank you. Ms. Rana, how many food trucks do you think you'll be having on a typical Friday?
So right now, actually last year, we had one food cart and one food truck. And I would like to request the same with possibly adding another food cart.
Now, we have granted a license to the gentleman, Elito, who sells the Mexican street corn. Is he one of the vendors that are going to be there, or is he in addition to the vendors you're bringing in?
Nope, Elote Boston will continue to be part of the farmer's market.
Very good. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody else who'd like to speak on behalf of this? Hearing and seeing none, I'll close that section. Are there any opponents? Anybody opposed? Hearing and seeing none, I'll close that section. Do I have a motion to?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
The motion is approved. The application for the City of Revere to have an application of a temporary common victular and entertainment license at the Revere Farmers Market to be exercised at 249 Broadway on Fridays from July through October from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. These licenses will be for common victular and entertainment. Item number 4, City of Revere. Revere Summer Night Series, Donnelly Square, Beachmont, Dimple Rana, manager. This is an application for a temporary common victular and entertainment licenses. The application for Revere Summer Night Series is for a temporary license for common victular and entertainment. The licenses are to be exercised at Donnelly Square in Beachmont on Friday, June 14th, 2019, from 4 p.m. till 8 p.m., and to consist of food trucks, music, art, and entertainment. Name and address for the record, please.
Dimple Rana, Director of Healthy Community Initiatives for the City of Revere, and I reside at 49 South Ave.
Thank you very much, and can you explain a little bit about this operation, Ms. Rana?
Yes. So this will be our second year of the Summer Night Series. Last year, we piloted 3 events, one event per summer month. And this year, the Parks and Recreation Department has absorbed the Summer Night Series in conjunction with the Fall Festival, and my department is working with them in launching the second annual Summer Night Series. Our first one will kick off on June 14th at Beachmont Square and Donnelly Square. And we have some other events scheduled that the Parks and Rec Department will come for the next meeting to also describe. But this event will be very much the same as it was last year at Beachmont Square. It's going to consist of food trucks, live art, live music, and activities for families.
Thank you. Now, will the square be closed, or how is that, have you dealt with the traffic department on this, the police traffic enforcement?
Yes. So the traffic the traffic department is already aware of all of the events that have been scheduled. We're actually going to be meeting in the next week to review the maps and the plans of the exact closures, but we're expecting the same closures as we had last year, and it's just a part of Crescent Ave that splits onto Bennington Street that will be closed.
Thank you. Now, last year, I think I remember a diagram. I think it would be helpful for us so that maybe the next time you apply for an application like this, if you could provide us with a diagram that'll lay out where the food trucks will be and what the egress and exits will look like and things like that. It would make it easier and maybe make the process a little bit easier as well. Any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Well, no, I think that's a good point that you brought up. I mean, maybe if you could even do that ahead of time before June 14th, so at least we know what to expect, what area is being taken up, and if any of the neighbors want to know what's going on. So that's a very good point for the board to have that information.
And that both of those will happen. I am actually working on the drafts right now to submit to Chris Janino, and I can also submit one to you. And there will also be letters to all the butters. Last year, one of our staff, she went door to door, made sure that everybody was aware of what was happening. So we will definitely be doing that again this year.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
The, you have here consists of food trucks. Approximately, what are you talking, 1, 2, 3?
So right now for each event, there's no more than 5 food trucks. Because of competition with each food truck, they're going to be different cuisines, from things like burgers all the way to dessert items. So we don't want to oversaturate the market and have 10 food trucks. That's not going to work for anybody. And also give the people who will come to these events selection and a variety of different options.
So on this, you said event, is there multiple events on Donnelly Square? It says, I'm a little confused. Is it just one day or is it every?
So right now, I'm just here for the June 14th date, and the other dates will be submitted. The Summer Night Series is a neighborhood block parties type of series. So they'll be in different neighborhoods. And
so how are the trucks selected? How is that process? How's that process work?
So we have a list between the Parks Department and my department that we contacted everybody to see who's available. And the first respondents were the ones who are going to be there. But we also wanted to make sure that we had a dessert selection, so that was done a little differently.
Now, have the abutting, I guess, restaurants or convenience stores, are they involved in this, or are they aware of these events because if these trucks are, I don't know, in front of their
They won't be in front of
properties?
the
Business?
but what we did again last year was inform not just the residents, but also the businesses within the area of what
Okay.
was going to take place. We will also offer if they want to participate. I know that when we did the Sandler Square event last
Yeah.
year, a couple of the businesses right in the square had tables out and were, also offered some discounts
Yeah.
for people to also go into their business.
Okay, thank you.
Let me just, so you're going to have activities there, and is there any fee for these children to come and get involved in the activities?
Nope, this is all free of charge to the community, except for the food on the food trucks that, is, you would have to pay for if you wanted to purchase. But the activities for the children, such as face painting, that's all free.
So there's no charge for them?
No.
That's good.
Do we charge the food trucks?
So the food trucks have to go through their inspection process with fire and health, and they have to pay those fees for those permits.
But we don't charge them for permit fee, or charge them for allowing them to be there?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Might want to think about that.
That's going to be part of the ordinance and that development
Yeah.
of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just as going forward, I know that these events are popular in the city, and the mayor wants to get the community involved in these types of activities. It would be helpful if the notification of the abutters, the notification of the restaurants in the area, the diagram, all of that stuff was done before we applied for this. Because in fairness, we're not giving businesses who may have a beef with this an opportunity to come in and voice it. So, I mean, in going forward, I know you've had this for 5 years now, or second year. So, going forward, I would hope that we would make these notifications beforehand so that people do have an opportunity to try and, tailor it so it's more suitable for the entire community. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will close this section. Are there any proponents? Anybody opposed to this? I don't see or hear anybody. We will close that section. Any opponents? Anybody opposed? Hear and see none. I'll close that section. Is there?
Yeah, so before we vote on this, I just want to go back that I think, prior to the 14th, as part of the contingent upon the approval here, assuming it's approved, I'd like to see, some kind of notification out to the abutting establishments, the restaurants and little convenience sub shops and what have you, in addition to the diagram. That way, we know we did some due diligence prior to the event. There's plenty of time. You get a couple of months. So we can still vote on it, but I'd like to see that in Maggie's hands before the event actually starts, so we know that we gave them ample opportunity to get their store ready or whatever they're going to do, if you haven't already. Okay.
Yes, the map is in draft form. The letter is already drafted. It's just a matter of now
Gotcha.
getting out and
Okay.
getting that information to the public.
Thank you.
Can you tell me, have you notified the ward councilor in that ward? Is she aware of this?
So I'm working with my colleague at the Parks and Recreation Department, Charlie Jafrida. So I will double check with him to make sure that, to see if the ward councilors have been contacted.
Yes.
But on my end, no.
No. Okay. That's why it's important just to have, that gives everybody an opportunity. They can come up, they can speak, and maybe a little input. And sometimes their input can help your festivities down there
Definitely.
also.
The Beachmont Improvement Committee helped with planning for last year, and I know that they're busy right now with their big event this weekend, so they are also involved with this, and I'll make sure that the ward counselor is made aware as well.
That's great, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Renner. I will make a motion to approve this. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
The application is approved for the City of Revere Summer Night Series, Donley Square Beachmont, for a temporary license for common victular and entertainment. The said licenses are to be exercised in Donley Square on Friday, June 14, 2019, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and consist of food trucks, music, art, and entertainment. Thank you very much. Item number 5, Revere Lodge 1171 of the BPOE of USA, Inc., 198 Shirley Avenue, James Hannon, manager. This is an application for a change of offices. The application of Revere Lodge number 1171 of the BPOE of USA, Inc., for a change of offices to reflect results of latest club elections. Name and address for the record, please, sir.
James Hannon, 111 Centennial Ave, Revere, Mass.
Thank you very much. And can you just explain what's going on at the lodge?
Once a year, we elect our new officers, and we have to submit them names to the ABCC for use, and that's basically what this is.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I have no questions.
I have no questions.
Okay, we'll close this section of the meeting. Are there any proponents? Anybody else want to speak on behalf of this application? Hearing and seeing none, we'll close that section. Any opponents? Anybody opposed? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Would you like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve. Change of
I'll
application.
I'll second the motion.
The motion is approved. The application for a change of officers, directors, and transfer of stock. Oh, I'm sorry, that's, I read the wrong one. This is an application for a change of officers of the Revere Lodge 1171 of the BPOE of USA, Inc., for a change of officers to reflect the results of the latest club elections. And that application is approved.
Thank you very much.
Item number 6, Meba Corporation, DBA El Pañuelo 2, 570A Broadway, Olga Medina, manager. This is an application for a malt wine restaurant license. The application of Meba Corporation for a malt wine restaurant license, said license to be exercised at 570A Broadway. The requested hours are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Requested seating is 20, and the requested entertainment is TV and radio. Name and address for the record, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the Commission. Albert Moscone of D'Ambrosio Brown, 14 Proctor Avenue, Revere, as private counsel for Meba Corporation, doing business as El Pañuelo 2. With me presently is also attorney Corey Rhodes. We're here today seeking a malt and wine beverage license. This restaurant is owned and operated by a mother and daughter team, Miss Marina Balvin, and as well as her daughter, Miss Olga Medina. They opened this restaurant in July of last summer, specializing in fresh, authentic Colombian dishes, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A copy of the menu was provided in advance for your
I've
reference.
actually eaten in there. It's a good place.
As stated, this is an existing restaurant. They serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're here before you today requesting this application in order to meet recent client demand and provide clientele with an option of having a glass of wine or a glass of beer with their meal to offer a more enjoyable dining experience.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
No, I haven't eaten there, but I have gone by there quite a bit. And it seems like it's a quiet place. It doesn't seem to have any problems there. The only thing I'm concerned with is your parking.
Yeah, so I believe there's about 10 parking spots in the parking lot itself, and then there's also some street parking as well.
Do you share that parking with the other business, or is that your 10 cars is just your
It's
business?
just for El Piñol, the restaurant.
Oh, so that's yours. I thought it mixed in with Domino's. Am I?
Yeah, they share the same building as Domino's. I believe that Domino's may have parking on the opposite side.
Okay. Yeah, I was a little confused with that. Seems like they get a lot of business there, which I guess is good, you know. And Broadway does have parking, but I was wondering how you use that parking lot.
And there's also, I believe, 3 or 4 parking spots in the rear of the building as well.
Okay. Oh, that was my only concern.
Is there another El Pinolo?
So there's an El Piñol 1 in East Boston. This is separate and distinct from that. They're the same, it's a family restaurant. That one is owned, I believe, by Miss Medina's brother, and it's completely independent from this restaurant.
Do they serve alcohol at that location?
I believe it's just food.
Have these folks had experience serving alcohol in the past?
Miss Medina, she is tip certified, and the rest of the staff, I believe, will be tip certified by the time the license is approved, if it's approved.
Very good. Do you have any questions, Commissioner LeBlanc?
So where is it exactly, 570 Broadway?
Where'd you see that?
Where
So,
is it?
yeah, so it's after the Mobile, if you're driving towards the Rotary at Northgate, it's after the Mobile and right across from East Boston Savings Bank.
Oh, okay, it's right over there. Oh, okay. Right
If
near
the Mobile's
sub-
on your left, it's
Gotcha.
the next parking lot over.
Okay. Now, is it a restaurant
I
now?
love
What
it.
else?
Yes, it's a restaurant now.
Oh, so it's in business?
It's
Okay.
been in business since about July of last summer.
Okay, they just want malt and, okay, gotcha. All right, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Counselor. We'll close this section of the meeting. And are there any proponents, anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of this application? Hearing and seeing none, we'll close that section. Are there any opponents? Anybody opposed? Seeing and hearing none, we'll close that section.
Actually, well, one quick question. So you're requesting a 10 to 10 PM, hours of operation. So last call, typically, to 2 AMs, the last calls are what, 1:30? They stop serving? So in this case, it's what, 9? So how is that going to work with these guys? It's always a half hour before?
Well, they can stay open till 10 o'clock, I guess, right to the last minute, because,
And serve, okay.
I mean, our locals.
So I guess the
cannot-
question is, if it runs over 10:15, there's still no issue here because, or is there?
Well, I think there would be, because he's asking for 10 o'clock. He has a closing at 10 o'clock. You
Okay.
can't just stay up open for drinks.
All right. So just to make sure your owner's aware of that at 10 o'clock, because a lot of restaurants are open till 2, but you guys at 10 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock. so-
Yeah, I could answer that.
It's kind of
Corey
my-
Rhodes with D'Ambrosio Brown. It is really just more of a family restaurant, not a bar. And the expectation is that people will be leaving at 10 o'clock when the restaurant closes. They're really not expecting to stay open late just for drinks.
Well,
at
that has a
point.
lot to do with the way I would vote here, because, a 2 o'clock license there, I would
Yeah.
have to think twice about.
Yeah.
There is residential. Matter of fact, I think you're abutting residential there. And so 10 o'clock, I'm fine with. I mean, but to serve alcohol till 2 o'clock there,
No.
to me, it's a
Yeah.
totally different vote.
Yeah, their hours currently for the last year have been 10 to 10. They're not looking for any change to that.
Right, so
in
that
regard
just
to
shows
this.
me
Yeah,
that he's looking just to serve a little glass of wine and a beer with your
exactly,
dinner.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is the requested seating still, is it 20 now?
Yes, I believe it's 20
Everything's
seats.
staying as it is? Okay, fine. Thank you.
So I'll make a motion, is there a motion on the table now?
There is none.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the Malt and Wine Restaurant with the hours 10 AM to 10 PM.
I'll second that motion. The motion is approved for Amoeba Corporation, DBA El Piñolo 2, 570A Broadway, Olga Medina, manager. The application for a malt wine restaurant license is approved to be exercised at 570A Broadway. The requested hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The requested seating is 20, and requested entertainment is TV and radio. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Item number 7, Ocean Liquors, Inc., 210 Shirley Avenue, Ralph Vito, manager. This is an application for a change of officers, directors, and transfer of stock. The application of Ocean Liquors, Inc. for a change of officers, directors, and transfer of stock to Virginia Vito. This was a previously approved application and resubmitted because of notice requirements. I will make a motion to approve this application.
I'll second that motion.
The application is approved. The application for a change of officers, directors, and transfer of stock of Ocean Liquors, Inc. to Virginia Vito is approved. Late addition to the agenda. Item number 8, Boston Renegades, Harry Delarusso Stadium, Park Avenue. Benjamin Brown, event manager. This is an application for 3 one-day malt licenses. The application of Boston Renegades for 3 one-day licenses to serve malt beverages at Harry Delarusso Stadium on 3 separate Saturdays as follows. Saturday, June 1st, 2019. Saturday, June 15th from 2019, and Saturday, June 29th, 2019. The requested hours for each event shall be from 5 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. Events are professional women's tackle football. Your name and address for the record, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Molly Goodwin, and I am at 105 Strathmore Road in Brighton.
Thank you very much. And can you explain a little bit about what's going on here?
Yeah, we're a professional women's football team. We're in our 5th year, and this is our 4th year at the stadium over at Harry Delarusso. It's our facility. We practice there as well as host all of our games. And we are looking to expand our fan experience and grow our brand in the local community, and we're looking to have the opportunity to sell beer and wine at our games.
And how many folks typically would you say are going to be attending your game? What is the average attendance here?
We'd like to say it's around 300, but it's really dependent on the weather. So if it's been rainy, we can have 100 people. If it's nice out, we'll hit our 300 person mark.
And can you explain a little bit about how the alcohol is going to be dispensed and maintained, and what's going to be happening at the stadium with regard to that?
Yeah, so what we'd like to do is have the liquor sales inside the stadium itself, so that only people that have bought a ticket to the event have an opportunity to partake. We would work with an outside vendor such as Harpoon and have a third party run the entire operation for the sales. We would have ticket sales for the liquor with somebody from their operation deal with the licenses and tagging so that they knew who had been approved as 21 or over. But the tickets and all that operation would be held at one spot, and then you take the tickets to the location for the purchase, for the pickup. We can use the concession stand there for the refrigeration and storage. Game day only, wouldn't be there beyond that.
Now, will you be using cans, bottles, draft? How is this going to be dispensed?
Right now, it would be in plastic cups.
So you're going to have cans and you're going to pour them into cup?
They would be poured.
Okay.
We may have a tap, depending on, this is our first go-around with it, so we're not really sure. So I think we would initially start with cans so that we don't over-purchase. But ultimately, it would be nice to have a keg. It'd be a little quicker and less of the disruption with the cans and things like that, cleanup.
And I guess that was my question. I wanted to know if you've ever tried this in other communities.
This is my 5th year owning the team, and this is our first time of
First time asking for alcohol.
yes. Yeah.
And so do you lease the park from the city? Is that how it works?
We do. Yeah, I work with Michael Hinosa.
Okay. So this is going to be the first tryout. Okay.
Yeah, my understanding is we are the first people. There's apparently also a professional men's soccer team that's looking to do the same. But we would be the first.
Is there, I don't know much about the women's football teams. I do love football, though. Is there a local team? Do we have a local team here?
That is our local team.
We are your local team.
Oh, I thought she said for Sturbridge, I'm sorry.
No. No, we're the local team here. We're the reigning national champions, and we've
Oh.
been,
I apologize. No, I thought she said this team was coming from Sturbridge, I thought I heard her say. That's why I was wondering, why come here? Okay, that's wonderful. Yes, I did read about that. Actually, it was on Facebook. I am up on football. I love football.
I'm not on Facebook, so I,
No, but I'll never play, but it's something I would like to see.
yeah, and I think Michael Hinosa has given his support to this as well as a good tenant over the past 4 years. And like I said, we also practice there 2 to 3 nights a week. So I think he's very comfortable with who we are as an organization, and also that it's a family event. So of our 300 people, they're families that are coming to what we're doing,
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like a nice night.
if the weather's right.
I have no other questions.
Okay, just so I'm clear. I come up to the window, I order a beer, you're gonna take a can out of the refrigerator or a bottle, and you're gonna pour it into a plastic cup, and I'm gonna walk away with the plastic cup.
Unless you'd like us to handle it differently.
Is that?
Or a draft. A draft is okay also. I don't mind a draft.
Well, I guess the point would be that we're not
It's
gonna
in
have bottles
plastic.
and cans floating
Oh,
around
there
the stadium.
there wouldn't be
and
any
stuff like
bottles
that.
at all. We've already spoken with Michael about that, and glass is not allowed at the stadium. So if we had anything, it would be a can, but that can would not be passed on to the consumer.
Right,
The can would-
that's what I wanna make sure, is that
Yeah.
the cans stay inside the concession stand, and the only thing that goes out that window is a cup of beer.
Correct.
Now, what
Okay.
about a limit? Would you have a limit on how many beers someone can drink when they enter there?
So we would have that run by a third party that has all their licenses and self-serve, or, so that I don't know how they do that, but I know with their liability, they're probably not going to serve over a couple of drinks to somebody.
Okay, and I guess my other question would be, what about security? Will you have police detail, or will you, 300 people?
We don't currently have police details for our events.
No. And you've had 300 people there without any detail, or?
Yes. And again, you can, if you're uncomfortable at all, I know you could speak with Michael Hinosa, who's had our events for the past 4 years.
Right.
I live a block from it, so I've seen the games.
Oh, great.
It's a good product,
Yeah.
Obviously, it's in its infancy, but you can see that it has gotten better every year. I think the quality of play has gotten a little bit better every year.
That's nice to hear.
Well, I think that's great. I think it's a great idea. I'm just concerned now, there is a big difference from a football game with no alcohol to now serving alcohol. I guess that's my concern. People are
Just want to
drinking.
reinforce that it's mostly families, so it's not dissimilar to the restaurant that wants to serve a glass of wine or beer with dinner, but be done at 10. We're only looking to be an hour and a half at each event. We're not looking to...
Oh, is that an hour and a half?
Well, excuse me, 2.5. It's from 5 to 7:30.
Oh, okay.
So,
No, I think as a police department, we would definitely have some concerns, because as far as I can recall in my history of the police department, we've never had a sporting event where they serve alcohol. So I think it would bear watching, and if you're getting a crowd of 300 people, watching a football game is different than 300 people with access to alcohol watching a football game. So, I mean, I think it bears watching, and maybe we could sit down and talk to these people and discuss the security.
and we'd be happy to do that. Again, of that 300, I would say a third to a half are youth that wouldn't even be being served.
Well, maybe it's something he would go over with, since I'm sure Mr. Hanojosa has
Yeah, we'd be happy
the
to do
last
that.
say, that maybe he could speak with Lieutenant Randall, and just to make sure. That's my concern. It is different when there's alcohol. Huge difference.
Yeah, and like I said, that's one of the things, we're trying to change our experience, so we understand that.
But I have no problem with it. I think it's a great thing, but there's always concern when there's alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I will close this section of the hearing. Are there any Proponents, anybody else like to speak on behalf of this? I don't see or hear anybody. I'll close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anyone opposed to it? I don't see or hear anyone. We'll close that section. Does anyone want to make a motion for this?
I'll make a motion. It's contingent upon you having that conversation with, Mike and Officer Randall's, police department. Having that conversation with security and that stuff, because they haven't been really exposed to that in the past. That said, I think it's an interesting event. It's a small crowd for a large, stadium like that. It's not as many people as you think, in my opinion. And I think, hosting it, our city hosting it is nice. Some beer in there, I don't anticipate based on the crowd. I don't think it's not like a nightclub having 300 people with 110% of them will drink. You're probably going to have less than half, if any. So I don't think that's a major, but again, that's between the police, you and Mike Hinojosa. So I am going to make a motion to approve the application for the 3 one-day mall licenses for those 3 dates.
May I just ask one question? I'm sorry. What is the admission fee? What are the tickets?
They're $15 for anybody over 12, and then we've got discounted rates for military and seniors at $10.
Well, that's a good thing. $15. I don't think it's going to be anybody just wanting to come in to have a couple of drinks. So I suppose that's a good thing. So Commissioner LaCroix has a motion on the floor, and I'll second that motion.
Okay, thank you.
The motion is approved for the application for 3 one-day. It says in the application malt. Is there no wine? Is it just malt?
Right now, we're only slated for beer, but,
Very good. So it's a malt license, so there won't be any wine allowed.
okay.
Application of the Boston Renegades for 3 one-day licenses to serve malt beverages at Harry Delarusso Stadium on 3 separate Saturdays as follows. Saturday, June 1st, 2019. Saturday, June 15th, 2019. Saturday, June 29th, 2019. The requested hours for each event shall be from 5 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. The event is a professional women's tackle football game, and there is a proviso here that you have to meet with Lieutenant Randall and discuss the security arrangements prior to the first event.
What's the best way to arrange that?
I'll see you after.
Okay. And then can I pay for the permits today, or is that handled separately? Okay.
Sure, right after the meeting, you can go to the office and meet with Maggie, and she'll square that away for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Your application is approved.
Good luck.
That's the end of the application process for today. The next item would be communications. Notice of approval from the Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission of the application of H&R Partners, Inc., DBA Balsos Table and Bar, for a change of license category to all alcohol. We have a couple of license renewals. Common victual license, Broadway Pizza, Inc., 266 Broadway, and a fortune teller license, Mary Wasso, DBA Revere Psychic Studio, 230 Squire Road. But she knew that. That is the end of today's agenda. I'll make a motion to
Next meeting's the 20th.
adjourn to the next scheduled meeting, which would be June 26th. Do I have a second for
I'll
that?
second the motion.
The motion is approved. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.